Well, I think obviously ran into a really good Mississippi State team this past Saturday. Veteran team with 29 seniors and a veteran quarterback. It's certainly playing at a high level. Really came down to poor execution on the conversion downs in the first half. They really executed at a high level. We did not. So lots of opportunities to learn relative to playing winning football, getting our guys to play with much more consistency. And certainly that's my responsibility, and I'll take full responsibility for that. But we're excited about turning the page and moving into conference play against a really quality opponent in Coastal Carolina that has a lot of momentum and certainly is playing good football at this point. So with that, we'll take a few questions.
Thank you, Coach. As a reminder to our members of the media, is star one to get in the queue to ask questions. Our first questions come from Dan McDonald with The Advocate. Dan, please go ahead.
Morning, Coach. Was it just a matter of that execution, Mississippi State being able to execute and obviously struggling, as you said, against a really good quarterback?
Well, I think when you look at the tape, we had opportunities, on offense in particular, to stay on the field and really continue to move the ball and help our defense by playing and managing the game and controlling the tempo. We went for it on fourth down 3 times in the first half. Felt like we gave our players an opportunity and put them in position to have success. I think defensively we had some mental errors, a few technical things that we can clean up. But a lot of credit goes to Mississippi State. They've got a big, fast, physical team that certainly is experienced. And, there's been a lot of buzz about that team in the off season. And I think they're off to a good start with Coach Moorhead. But we're a young team, and we've got a lot of new players playing on the defensive side in particular. And I think as we get experience, we've got an opportunity to grow. It's critical that we take this opportunity to respond. Adversity reveals character, and it's time for the leadership within our team at the player level to be at their best, and certainly it's time for our coaching staff to be at their best, and we need to be thinking about solutions and not about our problems, and be positive and enthusiastic about an opportunity to make improvement as we head toward conference play this week.
Can you talk a little bit about Andre Nunez? He had a good numbers game, but I know you had said right after the game that there were a couple of throws that he could have been even better game.
Yeah, I think when you look at the game tape, from our perspective, Andre's and mine, Levi included there, the quarterback room could have played better. Certainly, it's my responsibility to get those guys prepared and have them ready to play at a high level. Our offense is very quarterback-driven. We ask that guy to do quite a bit in terms of his decision-making. And then when we do throw it, we throw it often. The guy's got to make accurate, catchable throws. And I think we missed it. We'd like to have 6 or 8 plays back, not only in terms of our decision-making but our accuracy. Underthrew a couple balls where we had a chance to make a couple big plays, and thought we were inaccurate on a couple underneath short completion plays throughout the game. But overall, a lot of positive for Andre. He continues to take care of the ball, continues to be able to, throw underneath and down the field, and is completing balls at a high level. But there, that 10 or 15% of the game can be a very deciding factor. And I think he wants to be a championship-level quarterback, and certainly that's what we're going to need for our team to have success in the future.
And one more question, if I could. What Coastal Carolina's had to do with relocating to Jacksonville and so forth, are there any positives and negatives to that as far as your team's preparation and what you've been able to do?
Well, I think it doesn't affect how we prepare. Certainly we're thinking of and praying for all the families of the Coastal Carolina team, it certainly has impacted not only the university there in the local region. A lot. I think the people in this state can identify with that relative to what damage a hurricane can have and the impact that it can have not only on the football game but just day-to-day life. I mean, this is a really serious issue, and certainly we are going to do everything we can do to help them with that. So I don't think it has much to do with how we prepare. We're going to have our routine. Our routine's intact. We had a great day yesterday. I thought our kids' attitudes was outstanding, and we got good work in last night. Today's our day off per the NCAA, and we'll go back to work tomorrow.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you, Dan. We do have time for one more with Raymond Parch with the Daily Iberian. Please go ahead, Raymond.
Coach, how you doing today?
I'm good, Raymond. How you doing, man?
Doing well. Obviously, you said you had mentioned that you're facing a quality opponent, and they started off with playing against South Carolina in the opener, but then they scored that win over UAB in a pretty convincing fashion, and it looks like they run the ball very effectively. They're averaging about 40 points a game and 250 yards rushing on the ground. Is that something that you guys look at? What kind of challenges, I guess, Coach, would be the question that your defense is going to face taking them on?
Well, offensively, they're a little bit unique, a little bit old school, and run a lot of option concepts, whether that's zone option or trap option. They do run the belly G play, some wing T carryover. I'm very familiar with the coaching staff there in terms of their background at East Tennessee State as a player, the coordinator, the kind of his pedigree, and certainly the offensive line coach is a former teammate of mine who has some experience at Air Force. So a lot of the concepts that they run have option, concepts to go with those. So they're a little bit unique, and they've got a couple good backs, and the quarterback is playing at a high level and is a above-average athlete. So I think they're going to demand discipline by our players. We're going to have to have some integrity with our gaps and be assignment sound and really pursue the football. And I think our staff is prepared. We're already obviously down that road in terms of our prep for the game. So it's going to be – they're playing really good football. Obviously, they're producing yards and points, and they've had some success. So it's going to be a challenge for sure.
Thank you, Raymond. Apologies. That's all the time we have for you today, Coach. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you again. We do appreciate it.